Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing my full coverage foundation routine. I am going to be covering absolutely everything, starting from primer, foundation, cream contour, concealer, setting, bronzer, highlighting, everything. I'm just going to be covering all the steps that I would usually do if I was going on site like a night out or a special occasion, that I'm wanting my makeup to last all night or all day long, and it's going to be really heavy duty. Just before I get started, this might be quite a lot of makeup to some people, but like just keep in mind that we don't all wear cake face every single day. I do. The first product I like to go in and use is MAC Fix Plus. I would just use this because I just find that it just refreshes my skin and it's just prepping my skin for everything else that I'm going to be placing on top of it. So this is just the Rose Scented Fix Plus. And usually whenever I'm doing this, I will go in with two primers. I would go in with a primer that is going to fill my pores. I will just place this primer just in like the center of my face, like my T-zone area, and just on the rest of my face I would go in with a mattifying primer. I'm not too sure what brand this is. I'm guessing that it's Touch and Sol, but this is the No Poreblem primer. I bought this because I seen and heard Jeffree Star talking about this and he said it was quite good, so if it's good for Jeffree Star, I think it might be quite nice. So that's the bottle there, and I just like to rub just in those areas. So then going on with the Fenty Beauty Foundation. This is the Pro Filter Soft Matte. Did I say foundation? This is the Pro Filter Primer, sorry. I'm nearly sure I said foundation there. As I said earlier, this is then the primer I would go on with just all over the rest of my face, because I like to have like a matte finish with my foundation and my face makeup and everything. But then if I want more of a shine or a glow, that is whenever my highlighter will come in. But other than that, I just like to stay with a matte base. While the primer's still the tiniest bit tacky, I just like to go in and just press it in. So now we are ready for a foundation. I have now started to put my eyebrows on after my foundation. Usually I would put my eyebrows on first and then carve them out whatever and then put my foundation on, living my life dangerously. The foundation I'm going to be using today is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. This is in the shade Creme Brûlée. I have no fake tan on whatsoever, so I'm just hoping that this matches me. But the brush I'm going to be taking for that, please excuse how dirty this is. This is the Ciara Daly Hero Brush. I have a discount code if anybody wants to use it. So I really like to just start on the bottom area of my face. Then I just like to start by going on like doing like pattern motions to actually just to spread out the foundation first. Like really yellow. Oh frig. Why do I always do this? Like seriously. Why? Whenever I have most of it on, I'm just going to start buffing in circular motions. And I like to take my foundation over my lips because I like to cancel out the colour of my lips. Just like to take half a pump more, and this is basically just going to do my forehead area. Like this foundation, like a little goes a long way, but I'm telling you that, but sometimes I need to take my own advice. I am aware that I look crazy right now. So for concealer I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape, and this is in the shade Fair. Because this is so light, I literally only like to do the tiniest wee dots. I don't like to go crazy with an actual triangle shape. And then I just like to put the tiniest wee bit just at the lower center part of my nose. Then I like to take a damp beauty sponge and I just like to blend that in. This is the Real Techniques beauty blender beauty sponge thing. I actually prefer this over the actual beauty blender itself. I don't know why, to be honest. So at the end, whenever I'm blending it, I'm just blending it down the way. I don't bring my concealer the whole way out, because whenever you bring your concealer the whole way out the way, that is giving the illusion of a wider face. Whereas I want the centre of my face to be more highlighted, like, snatched and longer, if you know what I mean. That is why I do not bring my concealer right out to here, and that's why I also do not blend it out to here. I would blend it like around this area, but I do not bring it right out because I do not want the illusion of having a bigger face. And I'm just going to go straight into cream contour before I set everything in place. As you can see, I went balls deep into this one, whereas I think because I'm more pale, I think I'm just going to take the tiniest bit of this one here. And this is the iconic London multi-use contouring set. So because this is quite pigmented, I like to just do the tiniest wee dots just on them parts of my forehead. And then whatever is left on the brush, I'm just going to follow that line, and I'm just going to flick whatever product that is still left on my brush. I'm just going to flick it up the way. And then to blend out my cream contour, I always went with like a dense stippling brush. This is the brush I usually use here. I just find that stippling brushes and gel fairy brushes are so easy to blend out like cream products. They just blend them out so flawlessly. So I think I've actually mentioned this before, but as you can see with the bristles, there's obviously more bristles here than there is here. The bristles are quite sparse on this area. Like I've said this before, I am nearly sure, maybe twice. But just if you're new to my channel or new to these brushes, these are going to give you, if you're using these with a cream product or a cream base or a cream anything, if you're buffing the product out with one of these brushes, it is going to give you the most seamless airbrushed finish. In a way, I love this for my foundation. It does the exact same job, but whenever you're actually buffing in circular motions, air is going to get trapped in between the different length and the different whatever coloured type bristles that you're getting here, and that is going to give it that airbrush effect. So everything is just so airbrushed, and your face basically just looks photoshopped, to be honest, and it's just effortlessly. Like your brushes really do your work for you sometimes if you really just invest in them. Just going to take my beauty blender again, and I'm just going to blend out the edges. Time for setting. So the setting powder that I've been using recently, and I am loving it, it is the Too Faced Born This Way setting powder. I got this for Christmas, and I basically wanted this for Christmas because I just seen so many people raving about it on YouTube, mainly like Manny MUA and everything. So although, like, to be honest with you, like, I love this setting powder, and it is a loose tub of setting powder. I don't know what is a good loose setting powder because I don't use loose setting powders. I would only use like pressed setting powders, so I don't necessarily know what's a good one, what a good one is and what a bad one is. But all I know is it's a good one. It's a good one. Oh my god. One thing I don't like about setting powders, like loose setting powders, is the fact that they can be so messy. But this one has a wee tab, and then you just like shake it out. But I always got confused, like, how am I supposed to get it out? I didn't obviously have the common sense to do this. So I basically just like to take a lot, and I actually go in with the other side of my beauty sponge, and I just dip in the tiniest little bit just for now. Before I do that, I'm going to go back in and check to see if I have any creasing anywhere, because you obviously do not want to set your creases. So I have some creasing underneath my eyes, so I'm just going to take the creases away from one eye first, and then I'm going to turn my sponge around and I'm going to set straight away. I'm just going to grab another wee bit of powder. I'm going to turn my sponge around again, take the creasing away from the other side. I wish that person would stop texting me. Mom, can you see I'm trying to make money here? My sponge round straight away, with the powder on it, and I'm going to set. Now keep in mind I only put the tiniest bit of powder on because I end up like turning my sponge around and everything. It just makes things easier. So that is my under eyes kind of like set loosely for now. So now I'm just going to go crazy basically. So I just like to set my chin area, mouth area, nose area, cheek area, head area, in between my eyebrows, everywhere. Like you can also bake with this powder as well. So I just like to basically go ham. Just on the areas that I always would set the most, and then whatever excess is left on my sponge, I will go and I will set the rest of my face. So when I have my eyebrows on, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter. Oh, every time I open this it's like, oh. So I'm just going to be highlighting just to my usual. So my cupid's bow, just a tiny bit on my chin, just all the highest points on my face. Just mainly focusing on the tip of my nose and my cheekbones. I really do think this is an absolutely beautiful highlighter. Like the formula of it is absolutely beautiful and the colour of it is absolutely beautiful. When I got this I thought it did look quite golden, which it does look quite golden in some reflects of light. And whenever I thought that whenever I put it on that I thought it was going to have like a line. You know, like sometimes whenever you put highlighters on you get this line, and then whenever you look straight you can see like an ashiness of a line or something. And I'm going to go with the Morphe. This is the continuous setting mist, and I'm just going to set my face the tiniest wee bit. So then whenever that is still kind of tacky, I'm just going to go in with a second layer, because I usually like to go in with quite a few highlighters. I never usually just use one. Because I like my highlight to be so intense. So now for bronzer, when I use the brand new Anastasia powder bronzer, this is in the shade Saddle. I'm just realising I am so sorry. Well, sorry not sorry. I'm using so many high-end products. I think everything I've used today is high-end. Well, like, expensive. Oops! I think I'll actually include like a full coverage like foundation routine that I'm basically doing today. But obviously like switch up the products to drugstore ones in like another full face tutorial that I'm gonna do. So I basically just like to do my bronzer last because it just ties everything together. I think just like bronzer just sets everything off so much. And as I've said in previous videos, I like to do my highlighter first and then my bronzer, because I put so much highlighter on that it does look quite liney whenever I just have it on and nothing else. So then I will go in with my bronzer and it'll kind of like diffuse it all in together, so it does look eventually then more seamless. You know, it's kind of like a highlighter and bronzer intercourse. I do not want to bronze too much because that's why. And she still puts more bronzer on. I'm just going to take this Too Faced powder again and I'm just going to bake underneath my bronzer. So I'm not that worried about like cutting it here. It's mainly these areas here that you're wanting to like sharpen up and define. My skin looks bloody amazing. Although I think I'll look better whenever I have like my eye makeup on. So to set everything in place, I'm going to go in again with the Morphe setting spray. Focus on one side of my face and then slowly, oh my god, go around kind of. Ugh. Then once I've kind of like set everything in place, I don't move my face, and I like to grab like a palette or something, because I don't know about anybody else, but I do not like being squirt it in the face with water or anything. Like, I love water running down my face, but don't squirt anything on my face. I don't like having the feeling of a wet face. I'm now going to go off camera and finish my eye makeup, and then I will be back. So remember, this is the completed look. So this is my ultimate full coverage foundation routine. But make sure you follow me on Snapchat and Instagram. They both will be linked down below. So until next time, thank you all for watching. Mwah!